coming at you. So this is part 2 of backdrops, and I started off with the video I showed in the beginning. You know, and I always kind of try to do that, put like a little display in the beginning of the video just to, you know, put a little show behind it, I guess. But so this one was a real easy backdrop. It was just that little bitty thing that comes with the Juggernaut, the Marvel Select Juggernaut, and I just put it behind and kind of covered it up with some smoke to make it look like the picture. Let me see if I can pull the picture up. There it is there, which I'll show a better picture of it, but it's got like smoke here and smoke there, and then the city in the background and like some rubble that they're standing on. So that's kind of what I try to do, like a got you covered type of deal. It looks better in a picture like this, I think, but yeah, so real easy backdrop. And so that's what this video is going to be mostly about, is backdrops you can make yourself. So, but also before I get started on that, I want to show you a couple other things I forgot to mention on last week's. So last week I showed, you know, using the TV and stuff like that as your backdrop or your computer monitor. And what I forgot to mention, which Mr. Madgus brought this to my attention, but I forgot to bring this up, is that you can use your PS3, your Xbox, or your Wii, you know, and besides bringing up the internet on these things, like your PS3 has memory card slots and stuff like that. So if you take pictures and just stick your memory card slot in there, then you can project it onto your TV just like I showed before. So just another good tool to use. And you could take your own pictures that way too. Like if you see something that you think looks cool, take a picture of it, you know, put it on your memory card and then put it onto your TV. So that's a good thing. And a lot of TVs now have memory cards. So before I get started showing the rest of the stuff in this video, I want to bring something up real quick. Just because I show a trick or a tip or anything that I do in my videos doesn't necessarily mean I've come up with it. A lot of times I'll see some, you know, somebody's video and they'll have a good idea and I'll play off of it. I try to put my own twist on things, but a lot of times I'll straight up do the exact same thing that somebody else has done, and you know, I'm not trying to steal your ideas or anything like that. I'm just trying to show what I do, you know, so hopefully someone will try it and improve on it and I'll see some good art. That's the main reason I put out any kind of videos I put out, like the behind the scenes stuff, because I want to see you guys use it and do better than I do and make good art. That's what I watch on YouTube. And so anyways, I digress. So just a couple other things you can use for your backdrops. Like these are the card backs from the Psylocke figure. So I just cut those up and put it behind these hand. You're going to see a bunch of stuff in here that I'm going to show in a later video. This is the room I'm starting to put together, the closet. Like there's something from the 2-packs, that little backdrop back there. There's another one from the 2-packs, and you always got to play your camera so you don't see the edges like there. You know, and like I said, I'll show a lot more of these displays in detail later when I show the room. That's like a card back from like a Batman 2-pack. That's from like the Luke Cage figure. Better for pictures, I think, stuff like that. But you can definitely use them for videos too. You just gotta always watch how you're using your camera. Like, I wouldn't show this display like this on a video, you know. I would try to keep the video nice and tight. Lots of times I'll set things up and just, you know, think that they're gonna look good, and then when I get down to the about to take the picture or the video or whatever, it just doesn't. So what I had is these champagne glasses kind of on the side, and I wanted to shine a light through them, either through them or from underneath, kind of get like that, you know, pillar look or something. I thought it would look good, but you know, now looking at it before I took the picture, it just didn't. So, you know, it's all trial and error stuff, and I try different stuff, and if it just doesn't look good, it just doesn't. But can't be afraid to try. And sometimes the simplest things are just, you know, make the best pictures and everything. These Hydra soldiers are such a bitch to get into a display. Oh, maybe it's just me. I swear these between the open mouth and the closed mouth one, that they're different heights. I got them both standing, sorry about the camera sideways, but both standing in the exact same position, and I swear this one's shorter. I don't know if anybody else notices that or not. And one leg is longer than the other on all of them. So it's like, it's a bitch just to get them in like a standard pose. A vanilla pose for these guys is harder than an action pose. It's crazy. And then you can't even get them down on a knee or anything like that, so I had to put a brick under it and just give it some illusion. When I took the picture, I had it like this. Just a little ranting. If Hasbro was to do an army build, I would love to see a modern Hydra soldier. I think that would be really cool. And even for like an army builder, maybe like one of their drones or something like that, I think that would be pretty cool too. Definitely need an updated Zemo also. So this is the background you guys see me use the most. It's just a brick wall. I shown where I got it before. I usually pick it up at like construction sites and stuff like that, but you can buy it at Lowe's. I don't believe they make this anymore, at least not the gray background. I think they still use the tan one that you'll see in like Red Hulk's videos and stuff like that. I'll post a link of where you can go and find this wall at, because I get that asked a lot, and it's in one of those BSWS showcase videos, so it's kind of hard to find it. So I'll post a link to it down below. And then before I go, I got a little X-Force, and this is supposed to be like the sideshow statue, and I got a picture of that there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get going here. And I got to give a big thanks to Enam Reg, EJ, for making that Wolfsbane just an awesome custom. I mean, this thing is badass, and I'll definitely do a review on it one day. I've been trying to hold it under wraps. I wanted to use it for a certain thing, but I never got to get around to it. So I figure I put it in the display here. But you'll definitely see more of that in the future. He did this for me a long time ago, but I was keeping it under wraps for a while. So big thanks to EJ. Oh, and also with this brick, if you find enough of it, or if you find a damaged one, it makes really good accessories, like for the front, like little bricks in the front and stuff. Let me get a light. Let's see, so up in there. So it's got multi-purposes. And then, oh, and also I got some, you see like red coming through the back. It's just Christmas lights that I hung in the back of it, and then kind of separated the bricks a little bit. This is two of them, and that's why you got that red glow in the back, which I think really comes out nice. This is my favorite background that I use, just because it's easy to set up. I don't have to worry about anything falling down, and it just looks like classy, I guess you could say. I just really like the look of this. So most of my pictures and videos and stuff like that is taken in front of this background. So probably the cheapest backdrop you could put in would be a piece of construction paper. The deal with the construction paper that you kind of gotta remember, and I know Boog talks about this a lot, and a couple other people that use the construction paper like Witch Wands and Mindless Spot Tube and stuff like that, you never see like creases in their paper. It's always clean and crispy, and you know, try to fold the paper underneath. So these are all for pictures, so you don't really have to worry about, you know, too much stuff. You just have to worry about angling your camera. So, and then if you get like a shadow on the paper, you kind of want to try to eliminate it sometimes. Like, see, there's a shadow underneath her there. And the way to get rid of that sometimes is to just shine a light directly at that shadow. You know, take like a little flashlight. See here, I would have the shadow there, and I would just shine it more onto the paper, and it eliminates the shadow. Then come in close with your camera, or crop the picture when you're done, and you'll have a better angle. More, I don't know if you could say three-dimensional, but more realistic to where the light's playing. So Then picking the right color for your backdrop, if you're using the construction paper, it's a pretty big deal too, besides your lighting and the posing and all that stuff. If you use like the same color as the same figure that the figure has, sometimes it doesn't come up right. You know, and you just got to play around and see what looks the best. But again, try to avoid shadows and stuff like that. And here I just got two tones just to show which one I think would look better. On this figure, I think the red actually is okay, because it's not, the red in the backdrop isn't as bright as the figure. And the blue would look cool too. It wouldn't look that bad. But yeah, just messing around. Construction paper is the easiest thing to do, you know, and I got a bunch of different colors. You know, and I got small ones just because these are for pictures, so can't really make a huge display, but got every color you can imagine in here, so really good tool. So here's another packaging backdrop. This one comes from the Urban Legends box set. It was folded up in there, and I just cut it out to make it, because it had like a purple backdrop or something to it. I just cut it out just to make it look more, I don't know, it makes it pop a little bit more without that backdrop, and it's easier to move around and stuff. It's more of like a cartoony look, which I like sometimes. So, and then this one I added some props to it too. So I got, this is from like the Tech Deck Street. You know, and that helps with the backdrop too. It helps to cover it up. See, if you look down there, it's too short. And up there I put the bricks, just kind of put a background to it. But you could put like blue paper, black paper, make it look like a sky and stuff. But this one I only wanted for a picture, so I kind of angled it like this. And then like this. So you really don't see that other stuff. This thing is covering up the bottom of it, and then I put some props in front to cover up the bottom also. And then some lighting to kind of hide it a little bit more. So here I'm using a prop as a backdrop, and this comes with, I think, the movie Daredevil. I'm not sure which one that comes with. I got it in a lot that I bought on eBay of props, so I'm not quite sure. But just looks really dramatic up against the back of this wall and stuff. It matches really well, so I think that goes together good. I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute too, but if I didn't have that wall in the background, I'd have to get in real close, you know, to make sure I didn't get the white wall in the back or something, or I'd put a black piece of construction paper behind it, you know, something to play it differently. So adding the props in with the backdrops always helps out. You know, like this would be a good little example. There I got 4 props, you know, with the backdrop itself. And then here's another, this one I'd probably play the picture like this, you know. But if I brought it over here, I got more of a backdrop again. So just some stuff to add. Then you can use a mirror as your backdrop also. So here I just kind of got, you know, double Loki action going. I've used a mirror before to put material into a display. I thought it came out okay, but now looking back at it, there's a lot I could have improved on. But yeah, mirrors could be a cool backdrop also. Some more box packaging backdrops. This comes from the Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from, I think it's San Diego Comic-Con. This thing is awesome. This is one of my favorites. I use this a lot. And then you can add different stuff to it. You know, it's got like other pieces you could put on there. There's a Ghostbuster house, and so on and so forth. And then you add some props into it. I've used this in a lot of displays, so anybody that's been watching my videos can check it out in a different display. There's a big piece of black construction paper that works really good to make a larger scene. And, you know, and then some fence and wood. And, I mean, you could use anything as your backdrop, so, you know, just look around, see what you got in your house, play around a little bit. You know, just about anything can be used as long as you play your camera right. I stress that a lot because I think that's real important. Because I know when I first started, I didn't really put angles right. And, you know, like taking a picture like this is just dumb. Why have, unless you're going to crop it, but why have the white in the back? You know, just bring your camera down a little bit and get nothing but the shot you really want, you know. Same with this. I wouldn't put like, if, you know, play my camera right so it's just that. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do. Just always work your angles and lighting and everything else. And so that's pretty much it for backdrops. I got a couple other things, you know, like I've made buildings. I use them as backdrops, and got a couple other things that I use, but that's pretty much it for now. And don't be afraid to go outside. You can find some cool stuff to use as backdrops outside, you know. Here I got like this pillar. I used this in a display before. So, you know, pretty easy. And then just use the lay of the land sometime. You find a lot of cool stuff outside sometimes, and I use a lot of this stuff as, you know, like I pull rocks and I'll get some dirt from out here, and you know, just to get some free props. So that's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed the two-part backdrop videos. If you ever have any questions or want to see something, just ask in the comments below. I usually don't answer a question unless, or a comment unless it's a question. So don't get upset if I don't answer one of your comments. You know, if you leave me a question, I usually always answer. I'll probably be gone for a couple weeks, so there won't be a show for at least 2 weeks. And when I come back, I'll show you guys something pretty cool too. And that's it. All right, guys, peace.
That's crispy.